Hey, Mountaineer Nation. Well, I changed things up a little bit. I am not doing air traffic control, and I'm not on the sidelines with my headset, but we did the state flag to start to show off. I see Coop in the house. Uh, Starting things off a little differently. It's bye week, so we're going to try a few things differently. We're going to talk a little bit about basketball because you have to, because it's bye week. West Virginia's football team is 4-7. You got to add a little bit of, you're a few eggs shy of making cookies. You got to add some more oil to it. So we're trying to kind of, um, you know, and a lot of this stuff that we talk about, guys, is not news, but it's more of Eric and my spin. But the basketball team is cooking with 4 burners on a 3 burner stove, as far as I'm concerned. And Ross Hodge, I'll tell you what, I said this and I can't stop unthinking it. You ever say something, Eric, and then you want to just keep saying it? You know what I'm going to say? Ross Hodge. When I hear it, I think of Boss Hog. So I have
Yeah.
to like constantly say his name over again. Ross Hodge, Ross Hodge, Ross Hodge. But Ross Hodge is, how did I say it, Eric? He is a sweaty basketball nerd that can talk basketball as well as he can teach basketball. Usually, if you have that one characteristic, you can't do the other. Like math people, there's not really very many good math teachers. Few of them, but not many. Where like the touchy feely teachers more can kind of like relate. He has the whole spectrum, and it just when I read the article about this last basketball recruit. Now Miles Sandler 5-star, but he got a 4-star kid, and I think that's I think that's a big deal. Anyways, we'll talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk about the Mountaineers. And the big news of the week was Kevin Brown, who's the son of a West Virginia legend who played for the Mountaineers and was on the '05 Steelers team that won the Super Bowl. But Eric, I just hit you with a shotgun, both barrels. What do you think in the off week? What do you think? We're on the right page? Going to have a fun show?
Absolutely. You threw out a lot of material there. I don't even have time to respond all at once, but I'm going to try. Um, yeah, completely agree. Ross Hodge he does have that name, and yeah, he hates that nickname. So we'll skip past that out of respect for Ross. He's killing it. This guy is not having any problems coming in and just kicking down the door with success. I think he is one of these guys who is a builder, a program builder. I think he is savant is the wrong word, but he is a basketball genius who his ability to scheme the X's and O's is phenomenal. It is second to none. And I think his ability too to pick the ingredients, the players, if you will, with the skill sets that they need to run the schemes he wants. It's
Right.
crazy because they guided Obayeho. I'm sure I said that
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
but that guy is killing it, and he is a high enough. His performance early on has been so high. Other teams should have known about him, and they didn't.
Yeah, I think he finds these guys under rocks, and I some of these guys aren't under rocks, but
No.
you know, uh, it just blows my mind that and what the premise of this whole show tonight is, guys, is I think West Virginia basketball turned the corner, or is just getting ready to turn the corner. Really, just laser beam focused toward to success. The football team is rounding the corner, and I think with the signing of Kevin Brown, and it being just publicized the way it was on the Pat McAfee show. Oh, have you heard? Even people that aren't football people are talking about this. It was on local news. Uh, you know, they also have 29 other players that are are being recruited right now. So he is one of many. It's the catalyst, and that's what this whole show's going to talk about. That's why we're talking about basketball, because it's yin and it's yang. One hand washes the other. This isn't the olden days where one program props up another, like Kentucky, or you might have a football school like Penn State where the basketball program is just hot shit. But Not hot shit in a good way, but like hot garbage. So yeah, Hodge father. I like that, Coop. I like
Dude,
that.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
What else has been in the news? We were talking before the show. You said it's everywhere. There are clips of one of our sports teams. That's
Yeah.
worth a mention.
We talked about that last week, and I have to bring it up again because 2 times I'm scrolling through my phone, and this random young lady who probably is 11th grade. She's a baller. You can tell she likes to, roll the gym socks, up and pull them up to her knees and, put the headband. No, I'm just joking. She doesn't dress like Basketball Jones, but she does probably hoop. She's doing a TikTok. She's like, I was inspired. I have to show this video. This is amazing. This is amazing. Guys, if you don't know, the West Virginia girls team beat last week a team that was ranked in the top 15, number 15, Duke. They got 6 players. West Virginia got 6 players thrown out right before the half, like right before the half. And Duke had 1 player thrown out. Well, halftime, it was 2023. West Virginia's down. Well, they went on a 17-point run and just turned it up. And they played ball with 5 players. They only had 5 players the rest of the game. You know how hard it is to be, a big girl playing underneath and 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 just being defensively sound when you have 4 fouls? That alone is fantastic. But to have 5 players, they didn't beat them. They beat them bad. And this girl was just geeked up. She has no love for the Mountaineers. She doesn't even know where West Virginia is. She's looking on a map. She's like, oh, I have a cousin that lives in Virginia. Those type of people. Like, you went to school West Virginia? I have a cousin that's from Virginia, Norfolk. It's the same different state. A lot of people are like that. So she's probably just so inspired by this. It's fantastic. But I think that's fantastic because that is part of the circle this week of just like everything's starting to hum. It's like springtime. Oh, I hear the peepers. I see lightning bugs. It's warmer. People are wearing shorts. Guess what? It's springtime. Guess what, guys? We are in November. Football's winding down. Basketball's picking up, and recruiting for both teams is fantastic. They're out beating the bushes and getting ballers, and West Virginia is in good hands.
Shane, you said it again. Man, you said a lot, but yeah, absolutely. Momentum is picking up for the entire program across the board. It doesn't matter what sport you're talking about; they're doing great things. This is fantastic for the university, and it's going to be a great time to be a Mountaineer fan in ways that it hasn't been for a long time. So, if you haven't climbed on board, do it now. Start getting emotionally invested and stick around for the show.
Yeah, I'm going to go through some guys that West Virginia is still poking. Like, hey, we're still here. And Rich Rod and his coaching staff, those guys are 2 thumb texters, not this 1 thumb shit that me and you do, right? They're 2 thumb texters. So they're hitting up this guy named DeMar Williams, and Houston, Liberty, Mississippi State, UCF, West Virginia are all in the mix. And we say this every show, and I'll keep saying it. Because West Virginia's recruiting against SEC schools and other Big 12 schools makes me feel a lot better. Okay, that's DeMar Williams. Tayton Duncan. Okay. Usama, West Point, Army. Okay. They're playing ball now. And to go to West Point, you got to be a smart cookie. Okay. Iowa State and West Virginia. It's down to those 3. Those 2 were safeties, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Got an edge rusher, Josh Warren Jr. Once again, West Virginia's going up against Houston. They're going up against the Seminoles, NC State, SMU, and WVU. All of those programs are playing some decent ball now. SMU is doing a good job recruiting. They have some pockets, don't they, Eric? They have some deep pockets.
A little bit of money down around that area.
Yeah, wasn't that who was it? Ricky Henderson? Who was the Ricky
Eric
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 Dickerson
Dickerson.
and the gold Trans Am back that put them on the naughty list back in the 80s, 82 I think it was. Oh well. So a lot of you that's for old heads, guys. I know you guys are young, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but defensive
I,
lineman J.D. Hill. J.D. Hill, doesn't that sound like that sounds like a legit defensive lineman name, right?
oh yeah.
Like you have a name DJ Hill, you know you're going to get like maybe 2 Big Macs and and maybe 10 nuggets and then maybe fries. You're not sharing either if your name's DJ Hill. Well, he's considering what? Washington and WU. It's down to those 2 teams. Okay. Uh, Another guy,
Which, by the
Jonas
way,
Moya.
Washington is another fine institution of higher learning. They don't
Right.
let just anyone in. So
They don't
that's
let
excellent.
knob lickers in there and booger eaters. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. Penn State. A lot of and Pitt. If you're going to Pitt or Penn State, you probably pick your nose and eat it, and you probably lick knobs, doorknobs, that is. You know, but you spray it with Perel first. Offensive lineman Jonas Muya. Okay, Minnesota. Remember Beanie Bishop? He was a stud. Eric, wasn't he?
Yeah, a few people heard about him. He might have even still be, played up at the next level up.
Yeah, they cut him from the practice squad, but I don't know if anybody picked him up. I haven't looked. I have to look that up. But he last year he had a stellar season with the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Jonas Moya, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. And, oh, by the way, West Virginia's on that list. Okay. That is my rundown on some current guys that West Virginia is trying to, reel them in. Okay, it's going to be okay. Come here. Warm pepperoni rolls and hugs. Rich Rod's not going to yell at you too much. Come on, kids. That's right. That's right. That's the PRT. Yep. Right there. Okay. That's the mountain lair right there. Oh yeah. Okay. That's the drunk bus. That's for if you've been, yeah, we'll take care of you. Uh, that's about, would that be your spiel? If you're like over here is that's the mountain lair. Emore, oh, that's Emore Hall. Oh,
You
Woodburn,
take them to
Woodburn.
all the landmarks. Here's
Yeah.
Jean's Bar and
Jean's
Grill.
Beer
Here's Town
Garden.
Hill
Yeah.
Grocery.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the places to see where the kids can go and have a good time, and mostly stay out of trouble.
Right.
And that, but the idea that WVU is elevating its position in the recruiting market. That is the message here. It is great because a lot of times you find kids that are diamonds in the rough, and that's really the whole model for this new NIL world and the transfer portal. We talked about that business aspect of it, but we're not competing necessarily as much with um, schools like Mac schools, schools that are, group of five. We're competing more with Power Four conference teams, and not just any Power Four teams. These are teams these are great institutions, both academically and athletically. And then you named it, you called it earlier. There's this thing called the Directors Cup, and basically it's a measure of what is the health of your overall health of your athletic program like, and includes academic goals as well as athletic. And it used to be that WVU was regularly in that hunt and being recognized and awarded. I think we're going to be doing it again. Got to love things that Run Baker's doing, and the programs are all looking healthy.
Yeah, I mean, things are healthy. And last week, what was it? Thursday. We said, hey guys, Pat Mack's he's gonna have Kevin on the show. And he showed that picture with the West Virginia glove. I think the writing's on the wall. I think it's gonna happen. But we don't want to jinx it. It happened. It happened. And if you can tell by the thumbnail we posted for this show, there was some couch arson, maybe some abuse of some lawn furniture. The wicker furniture is just shivering and just shuddering from just of what's going to happen. I mean, there's probably not anything wicker or polyester on anybody's porch. I don't think you can have furniture on your porch. I think it's a fine now in Morgantown.
It is. No couch is safe from couch cremation. So yeah, you're not even allowed to just leave it out there.
So the pagan ritual of the mountaineers burning couches. It's making revival. It's like a tent revival. It's like, oh, let's catch the Holy Spirit. Oh, sweet baby lawn furniture. No, guess what's happening? Kevin decided after talking to Pat Mack, he decided to put matched to flame and make the couch just light up. And it took a little while, but once it got going, it was hot. And that picture is actually in the thumbnail, is from Kevin's. It's Kevin's doing. So he's been dubbed by the kids as the Couch King, not the Tiger King, but the Couch King. And he's a good-looking kid. Like, he looks like, you know what, Rich Rod and him just things aren't working out. Kevin, sorry, but guess what? Marvel needs a new Captain America. He could just be cast as that. He looks like that solid jaw.
If
Okay.
you haven't made a visual comparison between the Mountaineer statue down at the Mountain Lair and Kevin Brown, you need to. It
Now,
is remarkable, the resemblance.
absolutely. It's just that jaw and that nose. I mean, he's a handsome guy. Okay. So I'm going to go to the chat before I go down any more rabbit holes. As Afton will say, Shane's hunting rabbits. So, Fiona, how the hell have you been? It's Hodge gonna get us a national title. I hope in 3 years we're not hunting rabbits. We're hunting for Final Four berths. Maybe for a #1 seed in that big old tournament they have around March, and hopefully they're still playing in April. Jersey Ear, who is a podcaster, we all know that, and he's a fantastic guy. We've had him on the show. If you want content that is actual, like X's and O's, he's your guy. If you want to talk about, warm pepperoni rolls, hugs, and moonshine, I think I have a bottle of that shine down there that you helped me with, Eric.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. So, Jersey Ear is fantastic. Catch him on his show. He puts them out, and he puts out probably 3 or 4 a week. Jersey, how do you put out a week? So SMU, death penalty. That's what we were talking about when we were talking about that gold Trans Am. I think it was an 80 Trans Am. What a good looking vehicle. So yeah, we call those window lickers. Yeah, those are out in Kansas. Well, around here they lick doorknobs and pick boogers. And she also says, I miss Beanie Bishop, who is, was a nickel, not an outside corner, but he could play that in high school. But anyways, Jersey Ear, pretty badass. Kevin, he's referring to Kevin Brown, who's our newest signee. It was his grandmother's idea to light that shit on fire.
I didn't know that.
Grandma, I have a bottle of moonshine down here. I need to split with you. I've been hiding. Okay. Let's just sit there on the porch on rockers and talk about the good old days in Morgantown. That's fantastic. She sounds like she knows what's up. Pineapple shine. Well, I think this is the Werther's. Is that what is the butterscotch shine? That's what I have now.
I refer to that as Stutterbotch.
Stutterbotch, like Old Make Me Walk Funny, Old Milwaukee, if you guys don't know. So Jersey says, thanks, guys. Yep. You can pay me in tummy tickles and belly rubs. Okay. But about four a week. Yeah, 4 a week. Yeah. Okay. So back to the Mountaineers. If you are, I'm going to do a game, guys. Eric doesn't know about this game. Never played this game before. We're going to say buy or sell. I'm going to name a program, and you're going to tell me, and you, out of these probably like 8 programs, you only have enough stock to buy maybe 3 or 4. So you can't say buy everyone. Okay. Virginia Tech with their new coach, buy or sell? Are you buying stock in that program or selling?
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Eric. Do you think are you going to
Outstanding.
buy the stock or are you going to sell the stock? Do you believe James Franklin is going to be, a legitimate baller, like Beamer was down there? Is he going to get that program up and running? Because they're not, over 12 seasons, he had like 102 wins. So it averages out to 9 wins a season, and they weren't happy with them. I think they're going to be happy with 8-3, 8-4 down there.
So yeah, I'm going to buy.
Okay,
It pains me to it pains me to say that, but I'm going to say that Virginia Tech is very hungry for wins again. It's been a while since they've had some prominence. They do have resources. They have they have great tradition. They have the facilities. I don't know that that they're going to be contending for a national championship, but I do look for them to have some success. And if that's what the measure is on for buying, yeah, they'll be contending for ACC championships. That conference is already a little shaky as far as keeping its higher level talent. So yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah, they have like Old Dominion on the schedule. They start off with like a Maryland the first couple games, and then they kind of. I looked at their schedule. They got to play Pitt and Miami away. Those are going to be probably tough for them. But Franklin has the way of beating Pitt. I think James Franklin he gives me like, I would rather roll naked. Naked, Eric. Imagine that. My hairy back, my bald head, naked in pink fiberglass. Then hang out with James Franklin. But I'm buying. I think he's a good coach. I think he's just a creepy human being. But he's just a creep.
Well, now that you say that, that is nightmare fuel, and I'm going to have to be in counseling to get that image out of my head. But I agree with you. I think that's actually that's actually the thing that was my hesitation in buying. I think James Franklin is probably going to be his own, not just the image of you rolling around naked in the pink fiberglass, but James Franklin. I think a lot of times he is his own downfall. I think his arrogance, and I'm sorry, it's what it is. It's strong. It comes off strong, and I think Virginia Tech. You look at the success they had with Frank Beamer. Frank Beamer was not that guy. Frank Beamer had a lot of support.
That's exactly where I was going to go. He doesn't
take it away.
The culture down there.
Mm-hmm. They are a blue, which okay. Now look, I know we're talking about one of our rivals, but I'll give them some props. They're blue collar. They're hardworking. They were the people that invented the lunchbox. Right. You remember that? Like, you made the play, you got the lunchbox.
Right. Before the turnover chain and the whatever that shit they're putting on, or crown, or that was the OG original. And you're right, Eric. This is the West Virginia live show. Yes, it's the Voice of College Football West Virginia live show. But guess what state is below West Virginia, for all you dipshits that I've talked about before? When I say, oh, I live in Morgantown, or I live in Clarksburg, they're like, oh yeah, I have a cousin lives in Norfolk. It is the state below us. It's a separate state, but guess what? They recruit, we eat, and we sleep, and we recruit in the same area. So it's relevant. It's relevant because what Virginia Tech does, it affects West Virginia.
Absolutely. I think that's another thing that's actually, that was going into, in the internal, computations there with, the decision to buy or sell.
6 or 7.
I think we're actually going to be a problem for James Franklin's Virginia Tech. Do you want to go to a school where, let's face it, Penn State hasn't been exciting to watch under Franklin's tenure. Um,
Nope. Not
it,
exciting. No hard edge.
and definitely questionable. The notion, too, that Penn State is a program that has a lot of resources. I don't know if Virginia Tech quite has that same level. Why would you go to a school then? It's going to have to be an awfully good fit. And don't get me wrong, they'll be plenty successful in the ACC. But if kids are going to be trying to make that decision between Virginia Tech and West Virginia, why would you not want to go to a school where you're going to be in a much more, how should I say, interested viewing market uh,
Hmm.
to go display your talents? If nothing else, you're going to be seen across the country because that was one of the demographics that almost got West Virginia into the SEC years ago when we lost out to Missouri, is that our TV market was very surprising. We actually had a very large audience viewing
Yeah.
us, but they were spread out all across the country.
Yeah.
And
It's
that was
hard to get
something that,
regional, like regional folks to like Giant Eagle will support the Pit or whatever. I'm just saying, but you know, he had Pocketbook. He had, the Creamery. That ice cream is delicious up there at Penn State. I have to admit, but doesn't have that down in Blacksburg. But
mm-mm.
another buy and sell. Okay, we talked about him before. Ross Hodge. You buying or you selling? I'm going to tell you, I'm buying because what I've seen 4 games in has been fantastic. I mean, they could lose 3 games, I still believe, because he's getting quality players to take a look. And hey, West Virginia's passing the sniff test when these young men are coming and visiting. And I'll tell you what, I'm buying. And I think, what do you feel? Do you think? I mean, if I match DeVries and him, and I just look at them head to head, I probably would have said DeVries until this past week when he start landing these whales, these fantastic recruits.
Mm-hmm. So I'm with you, and if I'm buying in on the James Franklin Virginia Tech, that's a quick turnaround stock. I'm not going to stay invested in that one terribly long because I don't know how long that's going to last.
Right.
Um, and I don't know how. More importantly, I don't know the level of success they're going to have. That being said, with the Hodge father coming in, and Fiona, I loved your question. I think I think look at what has been done. I know we're early, but look at what's been done with a brand new team. Look at the talent he's amassed. Look at what he's done with the talent he's brought here.
Yeah.
We mentioned Obieha earlier. Uh, we have more stars if we look at this class coming in than we've had in a long time, and he's just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
this guy
just getting
is
started.
for real.
Yeah.
He is legit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I just can't get over how optimistic I am. I mean, when they hired him, like he looks like to be the same mold as DeVries. I kind of can see that, but I think the quality and the character of the guy is head and shoulders above what we had before. Okay, I don't want to talk basketball too much more. Let's move on. I'm going to talk about one more program. LSU, as I've just looked, I don't know what their LSU. You got to pick LSU. Okay, do you think they're in or Penn State? If you're a coach and you're
Oh,
picking between Penn State, LSU, Arkansas, F Mary Kill.
that's outstanding. So Arkansas, they're gone. They're out. I don't even appreciate it, and appreciate it.
You're going to kill them?
I'm gonna have to kill them. Yeah. Anytime that program's had any sort of sustained success, the NCAA has come in and said, "What kind of violations are you guys thinking? This is not good." Um, if you're gonna fool around with somebody, I mean, Penn State is kind of sexy with the kind of dollars they have. I mean, my goodness, you have such a huge stadium. I get it. Even if your uniforms aren't sexy, there's a lot of other sexies about that program. I'm marrying LSU. LSU
Yeah,
has an
I'll agree with
incredible,
that.
yeah, the incredible resources. They've got a phenomenal fan base. They have a strong support system that
Yeah.
you can attract all sorts of talent, and you're in the talent bed of the South, right there
Yeah.
in the heart of it.
And the
Yeah.
food is fantastic.
Well, that goes without saying.
Mike Anderson Seafood, if you're out there, I have your cookbook still. And every time I go down there to Baton Rouge, I was there a week and I ate that place 5 times. Mike Anderson Seafood. That was my shameless plug.
Well, hopefully it works for it, and hopefully you'll share if it
It
pays
falls
off.
on deaf ears in Mountaineer land, this Appalachian swath from Ohio to Blacksburg. Yeah, we have fans almost going down there and over to Pennsylvania. But Eric, I agree. I'm going to marry LSU. Marry them. Take them to the altar. Take them, buy them a big rock. LSU, you're my sweetheart. There you go. Okay. I am going to F Suey Hogs because they're in the SEC. They were good in the 60s. I still think they're kind of like they're the team that always upsets another team in the SEC. You can't overlook them. I think they have a good fan base. I don't think their fans are as batshit crazy as the Nittany Lions. Yes, I'm talking to you, my neighbor across the street who went there, and all my friends from high school. No, seriously, they have expectations that far exceed reality. I mean, they had a coach that was averaging over not 9, high 9s, 9.5 wins a season. Okay. And you know what, guys? I just think now, Frank, it was time for a refresh. I agree, it was time for Franklin to go, but I wouldn't have fired him maybe as early as they did. They kind of pulled the trigger quick, but that's neither here nor there. This is the West Virginia show, so I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill Penn State because it's just like they're just an afterthought. There's already programs, so that's my F Mary kill. Did you guys like that in the chat? Or did you think that was stupid? Vibes are up. Vibes are up. Well, hopefully we are the Cialis and the Viagra of Mountaineer spirit. We get everybody ready to go, even in a bye week. Although this isn't over the counter, it's prescription, and the only doctor is the doctor of love, Eric. No, I'm joking. Oh, Ashton, thank you, sweetheart. I don't have a headache, so like Monday I had a migraine. And so, as you can tell, I'm feeling a little better. It's like, oh, yeah. It's like I can think. I'm not thinking through mud. So if you tuned in Monday and it was like, oh, yeah, that was the problem. So we talked about basketball. We talked about recruiting. Went through some of the targeted recruits for the football program.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about facilities real quick one more time. We talk about this every week. Now, haven't seen anything on the layout. But I did hear that, and this is just an update, that construction is going to start shortly. It's going to start in the end not the end. It's going to start in the springtime. They're going to start working on laying things out. And then by 2026, well, that is 2026. By 2027, they're going to actually be knocking stuff down. I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard, they're going to do part of it, get like a section ready for people to move into so they have those suites. Okay. I don't know if they're they say they're temporary, but I don't believe that. Yeah. And then they'll do construction, and then they'll, readjust. Hey, guess what? We also have these luxury suites that are almost as nice as the big baller ones. Okay. So just an update there. I want to just let you guys know. Eric, there's a basketball game tomorrow. Did you know that?
I heard a rumor.
And the Mountaineers are playing Clemson. I think it's moved onto a channel. I think ESPNU. It was on ESPN2. As long as it's not on ESPN the Ocho from Kingpin.
You beat me to it.
We're thinking the same.
on
Uh,
the Ocho.
Now you're a big advocate of when the opportunity is present, West Virginia has to make the most of this opportunity to build the credibility, to prop up the program because eyeballs are going to be on. We lost an opportunity when the Mountaineers in football lost to Ohio. They didn't get game day that following week for Pitt. Now, this is another opportunity, not quite to that extreme, but
Mhm.
I think there's going if as the success of the Mountaineers basketball program continues, they're going to adjust to to get more eyeballs on there because people are going to watch these Mountaineers because they're entertaining.
Absolutely. Uh, First of all, who doesn't like matchups between big power conferences for basketball? I love the interconference matchups. Who doesn't? Uh, if if most people don't know by now, let me be the last to tell you. This Ross Hodge team sneakily plays phenomenal defense. And
I didn't pick up until I saw like the stats. You're so right.
yeah, because it's not like, well, that's not true. They do have some phenomenal swats, where they're blocking shots. But what you're seeing is they're denying. They do a great job with denying shooters. But what it ends up being is that we are running our offense, and so far we have run it beautifully.
Mhm.
Mind you, we haven't had, the long-awaited player, and I've lost his name already. Please help me out with that one.
Oh shoot, I have it right here. Let me pull it up. What's his name again? Morgan, son of a gun. I'm having a brain fart.
Hit me up when you're
Oh
ready.
yeah,
But
Chance
Chance,
Moore.
there we
Sorry.
go. I knew it was it's okay, but we have been phenomenal without Chance Moore, and people have been talking this guy, up like crazy. Look, Honor Huff is shooting threes that would make Steph Curry blush. Um, Obieha has been a dominant force inside.
Mhm.
We are doing all sorts of things. So yeah, we're going to shine. If nothing else, people will get to see a brand of West Virginia basketball that is tough and gritty on the defense. And this one actually is more flash on the offense than we have been in a long while.
Yeah, they can shoot the ball well and they can shoot foul shots, and that takes you a long way in basketball. Now, to close out the show, this is the West Virginia Live Show on the Voice of College Football, not the Voice of College Basketball. I know that, guys, but we just got to talk a little bit about that because it's such a big deal. It ties into it's like building a house. Like, yeah, this is a great looking house, but the basement is shit. That is what we're talking about. It's the foundation of a strong athletic department. So let's talk about we talk about what is the measure, the metric we use week to week to check on the health of not the football program. That's usually the wins and losses, but the fan base. Eric, we use
The rectal thermometer,
that after that we use the ticket. We check the
ticket
ticket price.
prices.
Yep.
Yeah.
So after you do the rectal thermometer on the fans to see if they're running hot or cold, you check on StubHub and see, hey, what are these tickets going for? Well, Mountaineer fans, $45 will get you a good seat at Mountaineer Field. 4. Ronald, this is for you. For the game coming up next, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, right after Thanksgiving. Because it's after Thanksgiving, I don't think there's going to be as many students there. And the Mountaineer ticket office has a program where for $45 you can sit with the Mountaineer Maniacs. Did you hear that?
Say that again. That's worth repeating because, well, actually, I got
Mountaineer
some news for you
Maniacs.
too.
There was an ad. So call the ticket office. I don't know if they're still, I think they still have tickets. $45. You can sit over in the student section
That's a
and be a
bargain.
maniac. Yeah. And I'm not
Uh,
talking East Town Girl on a Saturday night. No, no, not Flashdance Maniac. I'm talking Mountaineer Maniac. So you can literally sit over there in the corner. And I think, Ronald, to answer your question, I think it's going to be pretty healthy. There have been Thanksgiving games that have been like Pitt, West Virginia, backyard brawls. That's
mhm.
going back maybe 10 years or so. Um, but so you say your son, yeah, you got your son and you are going. I think it's going to be a good atmosphere. I think you're not going to have anything shy of, I would say, 50. I think below 50,
Shane, that's
crazy.
exactly where I was thinking. It's going to be right around 50, which I think for a Thanksgiving game, that's
Right.
really good. WVU is letting students go back into the dorms a day
Yep.
early just to kind of help facilitate developing that crowd for this home game. It's going to be a great environment. Uh, Thanksgiving games have traditionally been a little magical for WVU, especially if they're at night. I have not heard of a game time yet. I don't think that they've announced it yet.
Now, I was going to tie that in with what I said before about the fact that eyes are going to be on the Mountaineers tomorrow.
Mhm.
But ESPN is picking up what I'm putting down because they have determined that 6-day window, 6 or 7, right? 6 or 7. They determined that that will be the, it might be, on 3:30 or 4 o'clock, which I think is a better time for because
Oh,
the
definitely.
wife, the boyfriend, whoever you have in your life is getting you out and making you do shit on Saturday when it's football day. Okay, so at least you can get the stuff done. You go, like, I made a mistake, Eric, of going to Giant Eagle like at 10:30, 11 o'clock on a Sunday. Oh,
What were you
sweet,
thinking? In
sweet
Steeler
baby Jesus.
country?
Yeah. Oh, and it was terrible. And this is no exaggeration. I almost had a trifecta of carts with old people in them. Like scooters or they drive around. There were 2 in a row, and then some woman had to cut in front of this guy because it would have been a goddamn parade if I had 3 scooters in a row. And bought my turkeys. They were 99 cents a pound at Giant Eagle. Shout out to Giant Eagle, 99 cents a pound. So, anyways, I made that mistake. So, lost my train of thought with that rabbit hole. Sorry, Afton. But now, what I want to say this in the chat. I see Jersey, Afton, Fiona, Ronald, Leo, and Coop.
Coop?
Yeah, Coop. Yeah, he's always in there. Now, if you're watching this live, give us a heads up so I can give you a shout out because we appreciate it because we're here every Thursday at 8, every Friday, or not Friday, son of a gun. No, we used to do it Friday with when me and Joe, you did it. And every Monday at 9 o'clock. So Leo's saying the basketball program will win over Clemson. WV Coliseum has been rocking yet this far. Pitt game was awesome. The Maniacs can't handle the smoke. My son and I will bring. Well, hopefully you can bring in some moonshine. I saw a jacket, made me think of the Mountaineers. I'm just freaking. I need to start taking some medication or something. But anyways, I'm all over the place today. I saw a jacket, Eric, that literally was clear. It looked like one of those puff jackets, but you can fill it with beer. And then it
Yes.
had a drain right here you could just pour into your glass. And you could see the beer. Like, how the hell are you bringing that in? You gotta wear a layer, like a jacket over a jacket. But I'm like, man, I would have got into some bad. I'd be in a bad way if I'd have taken that to the Mountaineer games back 15, 20 years ago. Okay, but Google that shit, guys. It's out there. Ronald says either way, we will be there all year, and we'll be there to send the last year's players out the best we can. And that's the big thing, Eric. They're really doing these seniors did not just say, "Hey guys, we suck." It is what it is. They're playing. This team hasn't quit. They've kept with it. I'm really excited. Just this last game is their bowl game. They're playing a top. I think they should be numbered at least top 5. I think they're not ranked properly. Texas Tech. Uh, and I think it's going to be a hell of a ball game. And my goodness, eyeballs are going to be on this game. And the Mountaineers, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Hopefully the weather will hold off.
Mhm.
I know it's going to be the lights are going to be on. It gets dark earlier. You start at 3:30. You only have like 15, 20 minutes before it starts getting a
They'll
little
probably have
dark.
the lights on by about 4:30 at the latest. You're right. I mean,
Yeah,
5:15, it's dark.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell you what, I've been getting so excited and this might be age thing. I didn't get so excited about Mountaineer sports, especially basketball and the football, the past couple weeks. I don't buy white underwear anymore. I get the colored kind. I just don't even mess around. It just gets too. How do I explain? Like, oh, the football was good, and I just got excited. No, I'm joking, guys. I'm not crapping myself over Mountaineer sports, but it literally gets to the point, like especially that pit game, where you're just like, oh, my stomach's getting sick. Afton, she says, hit the thumbs up button. That's the thumbs up button in the chat. The
Thank you,
subscribe
Afton.
button if you haven't subscribed. And you know what? Another great show, Eric, especially for a bye week. Bye weeks are rough because I don't want to talk about the injury report because that's depressing. Guys, we're down to the fourth running back and the fourth quarterback. they had the water boy suit up and taped up, and Rich Rod was calm to hold the rope.
We were there before the last game, and then Hubbard must have his legs glued together. Scotty Fox, I think he's got his knee stapled together. Yeah. But you know what? This bye week, we're going to get healed up. And it came at a great time for us. Would have liked to have had it a week sooner, but we'll take it right now.
Yeah, I would definitely, a win would really, like Santa, like if you're sitting there praying, and I don't pray for victories, I don't pray for things that aren't like, if I'm praying, it's for health or someone to be, blessed with something. I don't pray for sports stuff. But if you did want to pray, you pray that everybody ends up the season healthy, no one gets hurt, and that is probably the best outcome for this week. But I still would ask God to stick a boot up Texas Tech's ass and get a W. Woo! I'll tell you what, Kevin, take the lighters away from Kevin. Kevin Brown, he was on Paul's show. I talked to Mountaineer Paul today, on chatted a little bit, and I'll tell you what, he needs to tell Kevin, take the lighters away. You know what, Grandma, Kevin Brown's grandma's not allowed lighters either. Okay.
I was going to say Grandma may just be just as much of a problem with lighters.
Yeah, she's probably. My mother's 80 and she smokes. She goes out in her little room up by the garage and she just smokes cigarettes. And you gotta tell someone it is what it is, On that note, I just wanted to say, Mountaineer Paul's a super guy. He's like, come on my show. I'll come on your show. He's such a great guy, so knowledgeable. I mean, he is one of those like the basketball coach, Hodge. He is a sweaty football nerd. Looks at all the videos, the guys. I'm like, oh, he's really good. And then I just move on.
He actually breaks down. He actually breaks down film. Yeah.
TikTok. I know all the dances and I know about 6 and 7. And I just am oh wow, what's happening now? But he's a great guy. And our very own Jackson Johnson goes from Voice of College Football. He has the Alabama show. So if you're not even an Alabama fan, Jackson Johnson is another one of those football people. He's like, yeah, it was 67 degrees in 1997 when Texas A&M. I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? I have to Google. I'm like, I'm lucky if I get a 5-year window. Like, I know it happened between 2002 and 2007. Some of these guys, I don't know how they remember that stuff. Like, but I'm one of those guys that can sit in a room and kind of read a room and know like they're on their first date. They're going to break up, and that's because I just watched The Bachelor and basically life Hallmark shows all the time. And yes, I sniff the cards at the Hallmark store. No, I'm joking. That's just because I have a pink chair. I want to shout out some more folks before we leave. Ronald, last time Tech was in Mountaineer Stadium, we were right behind the Tech sideline, and WVU won it. Was that 2003, Ronald? I'm trying to remember when that was. Oh yeah, Jackson. Coop is giving Jackson some love. Love it when humble beginnings overcome big money. So going, from the outhouse to the penthouse, and then you just, find like that sweet spot. Shane's favorite color is Pepto-Bismol. There was a period when I was wearing a lot of pink shirts with ties. Not so much anymore. I wear a lot of black like Johnny Cash. Uh,
He
Eric,
likes to call it salmon.
salmon. Nah, salmon's not the color pink, brother. I ain't churching it up. This is Joe Dirte, and I'll tell you what, I love me some Joe Dirte. But I'm gonna go on my Triple B experience. If you like pop culture, okay, there's a show called the Triple B, just the letter B experience. It's on after this. I am going to talk about pop culture with Big Bad Bubba Brewer, who was a wrestler. You know, Eric, he wrestled Jake the Snake.
Really?
This is one of the Steiner brothers, Georgie Animal
Oh,
Steel, and he's my co-host. And we'll talk about the top 10 car chases or chases. He didn't specify, so it could be an airplane or it could be a dog chasing a bone. I don't know, but I have my top 10 ready to go, and that's going to happen at 9 o'clock on the Triple B Experience. But before we go, guys, we're here like clockwork. Rain, shine, moonshine, sunshine, any kind of shine. It's going to be Mondays at 9, Thursdays at 8. And you know what? I have to say, this has been a fun show. Now we get back to business next week because it is the last game is Texas Tech. We're going to do a little bit of X's and O's, just a little bit, just a sprinkle. Was that chefs do that little? That's about how much. Just a little bit of X's and O's next week. Eric, anything for the chat?
buddy, this has been one of the all times. I really enjoyed this one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Really appreciate everybody in the chat. They add as much to the show as probably more so than what either you or I could do. This has been a great one.
Leo, thank you so much. Our team needs to showcase their last year at WVU. I'll tell you what, it's bittersweet. I know there'll be some tears in that locker room, and I just hope they're successful. They have a nice, if they lose, they're competitive, and no one's hurt, other than hurt feelings. And Texas Tech needs to have the hurt feelings. It's a bunch of sad pandas flying back down there to Lubbock, and I'm going to say let's go Mountaineers. And we brought the show in a little differently with the state flag of the great state of West Virginia. And yes, there's no Norfolk in West Virginia, but there is a Beckley. There is a Clarksburg. There is a Morgantown. And guess what? We're going to be here every week trying to entertain you. And hey, best wishes, Mountaineer kisses. Eric, good night. Chat, good night.